Welcome. Today, let's explore link aggregation. It is a technique that combines multiple network connections to increase bandwidth and provide redundancy. So, what exactly is link aggregation? Think of it as a way to bundle multiple network connections together to act like one superfast connection. This increases the total throughput, or the amount of data that can be transferred, beyond what a single connection could handle. You might also hear it called link bundling, network interface card teaming, or port trunking. Link aggregation combines multiple physical links into one logical link, increasing available bandwidth and providing redundancy and fault tolerance. If one link fails, the others keep the connection alive. Now, let's discuss some key benefits of link aggregation. First, it increases bandwidth by combining the capacity of multiple network links to create a single logical connection with higher throughput. For example, for 1 gigabit per second links can provide up to 4 gigabits per second of aggregate bandwidth. Next, it provides fault tolerance. If one physical link fails, traffic automatically redirects through remaining links without disruption. For instance, the network remains operational even if a cable is damaged or a port fails. Another key benefit is load balancing. It distributes network traffic across multiple links to optimize resource utilization and avoid congestion. For example, traffic distributed based on source or destination media access control or Internet Protocol addresses. Link aggregation is cost-efficient, leveraging multiple lower-cost connections instead of a single high-speed, expensive link. For example, using multiple 1 gigabit per second links instead of upgrading to 10 gigabit per second infrastructure. Let's explore how link aggregation actually works. The Link Aggregation Control Protocol, often called LACP, is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Standard 802.3 AD that enables multiple physical links to function as one logical link. The process involves identifying compatible links between devices, negotiating capabilities between endpoints, and monitoring link status and adapting to changes. Here's an example of configuring LACP on a Cisco switch. First, enter the global configuration mode, then the interface range configuration mode for Gigabit Ethernet 1/0/1 through 4. Next, configure the channel group to 1 and set the mode to active. Then, exit interface range configuration mode and enter the interface configuration mode for port channel 1. Configure the description to LACP bundle to server. There are mainly two types of link aggregation. They are static link aggregation and dynamic link aggregation, or LACP. In static link aggregation, configuration is done manually without a control protocol. Both ends must be configured identically. It has simple configuration and no protocol overhead. However, there is no automatic negotiation and potential for misconfiguration. Dynamic link aggregation uses Link Aggregation Control Protocol, that is, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers 802.3 AD, to automatically negotiate and monitor links. It has automatic negotiation and detects configuration errors. Dynamic link monitoring is another feature. However, it has a slight protocol overhead. Let's explore some common load balancing methods used in link aggregation. First, we have MAC address-based distribution, where traffic is distributed based on source or destination MAC addresses. This method is simple, but may lead to uneven distribution if only a few devices generate most of the traffic. Next is IP address-based distribution, where traffic is distributed based on source or destination IP addresses. This provides better distribution than MAC-based methods in most networks. Port-based distribution is another method, where traffic is distributed based on transmission control protocol or user datagram protocol port numbers. This is useful for applications with multiple connections on different ports. Lastly, there's round-robin distribution, where traffic is distributed sequentially across all available links. It is simple but can cause packet reordering issues for transmission control protocol connections. Let's look at some practical implementation examples across different platforms. Here's how you would configure LACP on a Cisco switch. First, enter the global configuration mode, then the interface range configuration mode for Gigabit Ethernet 1/0/1 through 4. Next, configure the channel group to 1 and set the mode to active. Then, exit interface range configuration mode and enter the interface configuration mode for port channel 1. Configure the description to LACP bundle. Configure the switch port mode to trunk. On a Juniper switch, first set the interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 Ethernet options 802.3 add to aggregated Ethernet 0. Then, set interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 Ethernet options 802.3 add to aggregated Ethernet 0. Next, set interface aggregated Ethernet 0 aggregated Ethernet options LACP to active. Lastly, set the interface aggregated Ethernet 0 Unit 0 family Ethernet switching. For Linux bonding, configure the Autobond 0. Then iFace Bond 0 in its static. Set the address to 192.168.1.10, netmask to 255.255, 255.0, and gateway to 192.168.1. The bond slaves are Ethernet 0 and Ethernet 1. Set the bond mode to 4 or 802.3 add. Bond the mini iron to 100 and the LACP rate to 1. Finally, for Windows Server, use PowerShell commands for NIC teaming. The new Net Local Fair Balance Optimization Team command with name LAG1 and team members Ethernet 1 and Ethernet 2 is used. The teaming mode is LACP, and the load balancing algorithm is IP addresses. Get the Net Local Fair Balance Optimization Team to verify configuration. Before you implement link aggregation, consider some best practices. Use the same speed and duplex settings for all links in the aggregation group. Connect links to different network cards or modules for better redundancy. Choose a load balancing method based on your traffic patterns and requirements. Monitor link utilization to ensure balanced traffic distribution, and document your configuration for easier troubleshooting and maintenance. Now let's consider a few points. Link aggregation doesn't improve single flow performance beyond one link's capacity. All devices must support the same link aggregation protocol, either LACP or static. Failover time depends on protocol and monitoring settings. Finally, some specialized protocols may not work well with certain load balancing methods. In summary, link aggregation provides an effective way to increase network bandwidth and redundancy without upgrading to more expensive, higher speed connections. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.